What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Scary Hour. And today I want to hold on a second. Fuck. I think this water bottle is like leaking from the bottom, and it's brand new too. But it doesn't feel like water. I don't know. Comment down below if you think it's lube. Feels oily. Now, anyways, guys, what's up with another episode this week? Welcome to Scary Hours. If it's your first time here, make sure to just give me a try. Just listen up for a little bit. Even if it's just one episode, maybe if one episode is too long, go to the Clips channel. You know, we have a Scary Hour Clips channel, and we post every week just like we do here in Scary Hour. And spare me 15 minutes of your life. I guess that's how long usually the clips are. But anyways, what is up? If you're back, thank you for joining us. Yeah, this is weird. What the fuck? It's not squirting out. But when I touch it and I rub my fingers and my nail on it, it leaks. I'm making water bottles wet out here. Shit me. Anyways, guys, yesterday, I want to say congratulations to my mother. She got baptized. For those of you who know me, I'm not a religious person. For those of you who don't, you just found out. I'm more of a spiritual side of things. I talk about this almost fucking every episode. But I am very spiritual when it comes to, finding shit out yourself. I don't even know what exactly that means. I just find myself to be more on the spiritual side. No knock for people who are religious. You do what you got to do to cope and to find meaning in life. That's just, we have our different ways. But yeah, I was there for her yesterday, obviously, as any son would. And, it was a very emotional moment for her, given that it's her first time baptizing herself or getting baptized. And yeah, I was watching my mom cry and shit. It was so sad. It was good, but it was like me watching my mother cry was sad. And while we were there, I couldn't help but to criticize the pastor. I don't know who he was, some guy in a wheelchair. I swear, bro, he's one of those people who's disabled and feels mad entitled. Or he gave off that energy. I don't even know the dude, but based off the energy that he gave out while I was there, which is a good amount of time for me to self-analyze somebody's who they are within that spare time. Yeah, he was just bad freaking. That's what I came to talk about and started the podcast off like this because I had to get it off my chest because I was talking to my girlfriend about this and I was just like, yo, babe, you peeped how this dude, because she was there with me. She was like, I was there like, yo, you peeped how this dude was just mad rude with shit. He had a translator, as most of these pastors do, most bilingual pastors do, where he was talking English and the lady next to him was translating that into Spanish. And one part, she didn't really know how to translate the wording that he said in the previous phrase. So she was stumbling within words, and he was like, yeah, come on now, come on. And this and the third, pushing her to hurry up and get it out, get out the translation, or get the translation out. And I was just like, oh, well, bro, relax. We got mad time to spare here. Ain't nobody in no rush. What the hell? And then another part was where he had a little napkin, and he went like this, most people talk with their hands, you feel me? But it looked as if he was handing over his napkin to somebody, right? So next to him was the translator, and next to her was some kid there, I guess, that would help him around with the wheelchair and shit. So he goes like this, and he's waving it. If I was the kid, I would have thought that he was trying to dispose of the napkin that I have here. Here, take it, dispose of it, and whatnot. But instead, the kid reaches for it to take it to do so, and the guy's just like holding it man hard. In order for him not to like stop what he's saying and tell the kid, yo, no, that's not for you. He's just like, and they're like playing mini tug of war right there. I was just like, it was so awkward. It was so weird. And then I forgot, I think he gave the lady the napkin. It was just so weird. Like he looked mad entitled. He looked like, yeah, because I'm on a wheelchair. Like, y'all gotta respect my shit. Like y'all already know I have to go through a lot. Be getting pushed around in this wheelchair and shit. It's not like, and it's also not like his hands don't work, because the honorable thing to do in this situation is to push yourself around. There was a little stoop where he was at, so I get it, you know, why you would need help and shit. But like, even when he got off the little stoop, he was like waiting on somebody to push him somewhere. Like, bro, you already can't walk. Might as well take this as an opportunity to like a mini exercise or some shit. Like, he was some fat dude. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, it was weird as hell. Mad rude, bro. Like, I don't know, man. And then I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. I was just there like criticizing shit. And then obviously, you know, the moment of my mom's moment came up, and I was just like, you know, I forgot all about that. Obviously, so got the recording, got the taking pictures and shit. So that's all that mattered at the end of the day. But I just felt like I needed to, you know, let that shit out of my chest, because homie was really out here like being rude, and then like other people around here, I'm looking at everybody else like, yo, y'all not seeing, son? Like, y'all not seeing this man's right here? Like, this really y'all man's? This who y'all rap? Like, that wasn't my mom's pastor, because I met him. He came up to us, you know, very, very, very nice. You know, he came up very polite. Such a gentleman. Came up, gave his hand. Oh, hey, nice to meet you. Listen, that's what you should do. I mean, the dude, on the other hand, he was in a wheelchair and shit, but still, bro, you'll be walking around here. Even if you do run shit, you should, the nice thing to do to make people feel welcomed is not to act like this is your house. I feel like you have to really take in all of that as a pastor or whatever, like somebody who preaches the Bible's verses and stuff like that. You should really take in how you promote yourself and how you like, you know, the impression that you leave on others, because at the end of the day, you are who people think God chose to spread the word of God. Not only because of your, you know, not only because of your studies of the Bible, but also because of like who you are as an individual. I wouldn't walk in there and be like, yo, he really studied the Bible. I would just think like to myself that, oh, he really knows what he's talking about. So, I mean, he's probably very credible. Like, people probably really stand by him, and like, you know, he's a credible source to everybody here. So, which also means that he studied the Bible. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it was just like that little thing I needed to share with you guys. It was it was a little awkward, a little weird. It was just like, bro, this is why I don't be going to church. This is why I don't be going to church. And then we had people there talk about, yo, you in school? Yo, you know, when you gonna devote yourself to God? And it's like, yo, bro, why are you like, I'm here. Like, let's take the time to acknowledge that I'm here, and that's it. Don't try to push me to anything else. Yo, I swear, bro, people that be the most religious, I'm gonna speak on Christianity, because that's what I'm most closest to. So I can't say the same for other religions, but the Christians that I know, they the most motherfuckers that be talking the most shit, bro. I'll be there like minding my own business, giving church a try and shit, trying to like, you know, see how I can include myself within church. And here comes somebody's old mother talking about, oh, you should really look to like devote yourself to God. You didn't finish school? Oh my God, why not? Bitch, did you finish school? Fuck is you talking about? Like, you devote yourself to God. You go to college, man. Like, what are you doing, bro? Telling people what to do. I hate that, bro. When people tell people what to do, it's like, yo, man, mind your business. Ain't nobody, like, nobody's out here trying to listen to your advice and be like, oh. Yo, I remember I met this lady, right? And she goes, first time I met her, she was on some like, oh, hola, nice to meet you. This and the third. She goes, are you in school? I'm like, yo, this is not how you get to know me. What the hell? Like, what you think you're going to get out of this? And then it's like, I said no, and she was just like, mad dismissive about everything. Like, she was just like, oh yeah. Oh no, you gotta get to school. Like, anything I said, it was just like, yeah, but you gotta get to school. Like, nigga, you don't know what the fuck you talk about. Like, get to school and then you could come talk to me. As if she went to school herself and she didn't. Like, bro. No, bro. Like, I could say that you could speak upon shit that you've experienced yourself because you really recommend it, whether you recommend it or not. If you recommend it, then yeah, you speak upon that thing yourself if you really stand by it and believe towards it, you know, whatever. But if you somebody who never really experienced that shit and is just like out here just willy-nilly saying, yo, do it because everybody else is doing it and it works for everybody else. No, you take your own advice first and then you come to me and then I'll be like, okay, fine. You have all the right to tell me, you know, to recommend this to me. Like, do your thing. All right, fine, whatever. But for you to sit here and be all like, oh, you know, you gotta go to college. You really have to make your mom proud. Let's make your mom proud now. Oh, you should devote yourself to God. What makes you think I'm not devoted to God, bro? Because I'm not coming to church? Because you don't see me at church coming with my mother? What if that's not my way of devoting myself to God? What if every night I speak to God? What if every night I pray? Every night I take a moment to really think to myself and speak to God? Nah, that don't count. You got to come to church. Why? Like, I don't get it. Why? Like, I really don't understand. I knew church wasn't for me a long time ago when I was a kid. And they used to make me go to church. And I used to be there like, bro, the only reason I'm even coming to church is because, number one, I have no choice because y'all told me to come with y'all. And if I don't go with y'all, y'all going to be mad at me the whole day. And I won't get what I want throughout the whole day. And number two, I really like somebody in the church. So I might as well go and act like a church boy if I need to, if it needs be. I was a kid, bro. Don't judge me. You feel me? I was a kid. That's it. You can't really say nothing about that. I was a kid. I can't come at me. I can't bash me. Because kids do dumb shit like that. Obviously, I wouldn't do the same now because I have not been back to church. And number one, obviously, I have a girlfriend. But even if I didn't, my first fucking thing wouldn't be for me to go to church to find love. Like, come on. But yeah, it's going back to that pastor stuff. Or whatever he was preaching the word of God for like 40 minutes. You know, that's what pastors do. I don't know these rankings. I don't know how these things work. Then I Googled pastors' earnings, and they get paid annually. And I was like, whoa, hold on. That's dope. Like, that's pretty cool. You get paid. Based on Google, the average that a pastor's get is like $22 an hour, which accumulates to $45,000 or so a year. Imagine getting that check, though. That would be fucking fire to like work in a place that pays you annually, because now you have this huge check coming in and you can literally like grab whatever, like $10,000 or $12,000 for rent only, put to the side. That's it. Now you don't have to worry about making sure that rent is going to get paid. You're good for the year. You know, like, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. As opposed to you working, getting paid like every week or bi-weekly, and you know that if you miss today, you're not going to get paid the same way you got paid last week because you're going to miss today. So, I mean, it would be the same thing, but like, it's a little harder to even play like that, so you kind of don't have the time to really sit down and do the math and think about how if you miss today, you're gonna miss out on $22, or if you miss this hour or whatever. Anyways, yeah, it was pretty dope. I was like, oh shit, $45,000. That's not, bro. That's like a little over, wage, minimum wage. It's like $6, $7 more than minimum wage. It's not that much. And it's like, and that's what they get paid by the church. And that's if you're like a medium church. That's not even if you're like a poor church. If you're a poor church, I wonder how much they get paid. You feel me? Like, and then I also wonder the motherfuckers that be abusing that shit and find other means within the church to make more money. I don't get it. I be seeing fucking pastors in Benz and shit like that. You telling me if I make $45,000 a year, are you gonna see me in a Benz? You telling me that I'm going to, the right financial thing to do is for me as an individual to waste an annual earning of what I make on a Benz? Y'all gonna see me on a Benz if I hit a lick, number one, and number two, if also, which is not what I just said, hit a lick for some reason. I don't know why. I wouldn't hit a lick though. But, or if I'm really making a good earning. Like, once I'm making a really good earning and you see me in a Benz, just know that Benz speaks for my earning. I don't have to tell you how much I make. I make enough to afford a Benz. I didn't cut an arm and a leg off for this Benz because I would never do that. I drive a 2006 Ford Escape. Number one, because it was gifted to me, and number two, because I don't have to pay for it because it's paid for. It's fully paid for, and all I have to worry about is insurance. Yes, and not only because I can't afford it, also because it's like my first car, so it's like I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that whole thing was weird to me yesterday. This is one of the reasons why I don't go to church, is because there's a whole bunch of hypocrites in that bitch. Or sorry, in Jesus' house. In God's house. I really didn't mean to say in that bitch. I apologize. But yeah, it's a little it's one of the reasons why I don't go. It's one of the reasons why I don't go. And anyways, yeah, moving on from that, I wanted to talk about the thing that I spoke about last week with Dave Chappelle's The Closer on Netflix. And Netflix is really standing by him when it comes to all the backlash he's getting from the transgender community. They're saying that he's homophobic with the whole shit. He's transphobic. I'm sorry. With it all, and his speeches and the things that he say is punching down on the transgender community. And honestly, my take on it all is just that it's complete. It's like motherfuckers don't know what else to focus on. Like, there's really nothing else to focus on, so I might as well just cancel Dave Chappelle. Like, and it's also like he said on the show, the LGBTQ community has been having more progression than the black community. And mind you, they're both minorities. You feel me? And I saw this clip on this woman that was saying that she said something along the lines of, she tried to reach out to Dave and she has gotten no response. She's been wanting to have a intellectual dialogue with Dave and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, Dave addressed this himself and he said, I've never gotten any calls. I've never gotten any text messages, any emails regarding them wanting to meet up with me and have a dialogue, because I am with it to do so. Under one circumstance. And that was that he's not going to bend down to any any demands. The irony of the word bending down. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, motherfuckers are just being real sensitive about shit. This is what we mean when we say that this generation is as sensitive as fuck. This is what I'm talking about. And I feel like a lot of the older generation, a lot of the people that were in the, or that came from the older generation, are salivating at the fact that this generation is so soft. Everything is soft. The NBA is soft. Social media is soft. The only platform that doesn't give a fuck, or almost nearly does not give a fuck, is Twitter. And I fuck with them for that. Reddit is another site that doesn't give a shit about what you post. And that's the balance that we need, type shit. I feel like that's the exact balance that we need. But it's stupid as fuck, man. I mean, I understand if off rip you're gonna think to yourself that what Dave Chappelle was saying or has been saying about the transgender community can be seen and deemed as transphobic if you just look at it from a glance. But when you sit down and really listen to what he's saying and really break down each joke about the transgender community he's made, you can see that it doesn't come from a place of hatred. It doesn't come from a place of oh, I'm gonna bring you down. I don't fuck with you and I don't agree with you. Therefore, I will bash you. And I will continue to make jokes in order to bash you. And this is what we're going to continue doing because this is something that I want to do. This is something that should be done. And this is something that will be done regardless whether you like it or not. But that's how they're taking it. They're looking at it and taking it with a grain of salt in regards to, oh, I'm going to feel attacked. When the right way to look at it is, oh, hold on a second. That was a very dark joke right there. But I understand where he's coming from with that joke. I understand that joke has been made in order to open other people's eyes within the joke. This is the best way I could explain it at the current time. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But it's annoying because I myself like to make edgy jokes. I'm still getting a little bit I'm still getting a little bit used to saying edgy jokes, especially online. But within friend groups and stuff like that, I feel very very at ease. I'm pretty sure that's how much most white people feel. How about saying the N-word? When they're around their other friends, they're probably like, nigga, 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 nigga. And they probably don't be, they'll be feeling some type of way because they know that there's nobody black around them or a minority around them or whatnot. But yeah, it just sucks because it's literally what I've been trying to point out since the beginning of this podcast. It's just been like, yo, look at how sensitive these motherfuckers are. Look at how sensitive people are. This is how they're sensitive. This is why I say they're sensitive. And I'm not the only one preaching this. Everybody knows this, how sensitive this generation is. I like to make jokes about people that be like, I don't go by he, her, she, he. I mean, she, her, he, him. I make joke about people like that, which is what I mean by edgy jokes. Because you're coming at somebody who doesn't see themselves as a male or a female. Like the they, them communities. I don't know much about these shits, bro, but I be dying when motherfuckers be like, I go by they, them. I'm like, bro, how does that make sense? Like, how will I put that in a fucking sentence, bro? I'm gonna mix myself up. I'm gonna be talking to you. I'm like, yeah, they told me that. You feel me? And I'm gonna just like sit there like, bro, that's not they, bro. Like, you a dude, bro. Like, or if you want to call yourself a female, like she. But they, That's more than one person, bro. Like, it's just like, it's not me being a dick. I'm just saying, like, it's hard for me to fucking sit there with a straight face and explain to somebody that they want to go on to a party. Meanwhile, yo, there's only 3 of us, and I'm only talking to one. Like, yo, what are you talking? There's only, yo, Rick is behind you. Oh, but you know, because you know, Rick, whatever. It's just, it's still getting used to. That's what it is. That's just what it is. I'm just still getting used to it, and it's a little weird for me. It's a little awkward. It throws me off a lot. It's not even me just being a fucking dick. It just throws me off a lot. Because what if I slip up and I say, hey, look, he wanted to go to the bar later on. Excuse me? And I have to sit there and be like, yo, my fault, bro. Like, and now it's even more awkward. Like, yo, bro? You calling me bro? My fault, Yo, my fault, them. I have to understand they don't like that. Yo, it's so weird. So what do you call more than one people who call themselves they? Who like to go as they? Like, if there's 2 days right there, what do you call them? I don't know. You see this shit confusing. I don't know, bro. But it's still something I'm getting used to. Ignore my ignorance. Or don't go by my ignorance. I'm just, it's just some getting used to. That's all it takes. But yeah, regarding the whole Netflix employees, they're going on a protest for the removal of Dave Chappelle's The Closer. I think it's just The Closer, or I think it's like Dave Chappelle everything on Netflix. And Netflix is not bending down for him. Netflix is on the side of Dave Chappelle, which is what we need, because I feel like within the time of like 2017 until like even now, I would like to say 2020, within those years, a lot of corporations have been bending over for, you know, the people who just see everything as like, oh my God, they're attacking me. Oh my God, they're attacking my people, my kind. And it's just like, bro, it's nice to see Netflix just sit there and be like, all right, y'all really tripping, bro. Like, we're not going to go by that. We're not going to, I understand the walkout. I understand where you guys are coming from, but we don't agree with it. And just because we don't agree with it doesn't mean we have to go by it. Just because we don't agree with it doesn't mean we have to bend over for what you're asking for. When we could just have a, you know, intellectual dialogue, like that woman said, and or like they said. I don't know what she goes by or what they go by, and you know, just go with the program. Talk about stuff. Speak to David himself. David speaks to himself, and whatnot, so forth. And that's how I feel like it should be. And then you come to an agreement, not just, you know, just I don't know. It's that's my take on that. And I feel like the best way to get an answer from each or either group is by putting both groups together and making them have that conversation. And that goes to anybody and anything, and any other group, anybody within any other sphere or anything that's going on. You should both sit down, or both opposing groups should sit down and really have the conversation. Anyways, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the whole commotion with Joe Rogan and grilling Sanjay Gupta, on his one of his latest episodes, because well, for those of you who don't know who Sanjay Gupta is, he works for CNN. I believe he's like the medical side of CNN. Like, they go through him when it comes to like speaking about, like, you know, medications and stuff like that. So CNN put out a story about Joe Rogan saying how, exposing how, well, not exposing, but saying how he caught COVID and was using ivermectin, which to them is just solely a horse dewormer, as a way to cope and heal from COVID. Basically what they were saying is just that you are not an animal. You should not be using ivermectin to be treating COVID. But if you listen to Joe Rogan's the clip that they use for Joe Rogan, he names about like 5 medications that he uses to cope with COVID. But they take that one drug and immediately see that it's also used for horse deworming and run an entire story on it. So, Sanjay Gupta, that's the right way to say it. He goes on the Joe Rogan Experience, and I don't know if he expected Joe not to like grill him on it, but eventually Joe gets to it. And he says, "Yo, how do you feel about working with a company who just outright lies and says that ivermectin is solely used for horse deworming, when thousands of doctors prescribe this medication to billions of people who have contracted COVID?" At first you could tell he didn't really want to talk about it. If you haven't seen the clip, I urge you to see the clip and then come back and listen to my take on it. But you could tell he does not want to talk about the clip. And then he just, he tries to divert and say, well, they didn't necessarily say it like that. And he was like, well, yeah, I can show you. And then Jamie the God, pulls out clips, And they even show him on the clip that he put up on Instagram, Joe Rogan. They put a whole filter on him to make him look like sicker and shit, which is hilarious. It screams the propaganda that CNN throws out there. This is what propaganda looks like, people. When a company wants you to think a certain way, they're going to try their best to make you believe that thing in order for you to, to embed it in your head and and create that idea in your head. This is what propaganda looks like, twisting people's words, leaving out facts and just sticking to one fact instead of including all of the facts, and making the story or the narrative turn your way is what propaganda is and looks like and sounds like. So after the whole thing with Sanjay, he goes back, I think it's like the next day, to CNN, obviously. And Don Lemon, tells on him and tells him like, you do understand that ivermectin is a horse deworming, primarily horse deworming. It is not said by the CDC that you can use it to treat COVID. Therefore, it shouldn't be meant for that. You shouldn't use it for that. That's basically what he meant by that. Well, that's how I took it as. So I'm sorry if that's not what he meant, but yeah. And Sanjay just quoted the CDC tweet by saying, "Oh, you're not a horse, you are not an animal. Stop taking this medication," something like that. When he had the chance to just sit there and be like, "No, this is something that has been prescribed by professionals, and by professionals I mean doctors, and billions of people have taken it and have gotten great results from it. So, yeah, it's not approved by the CDC, but it is showing signs of it actually working. But because, you know, you got to bend over to who pays his checks and who pays his bills every month, he's not going to give that kind of rebuttal. So instead, he was just like, yeah, yeah, you're totally right. You just, doubling down with Don Lemon. And it's just, it sucks to have a brother like Don Lemon be the one in the forefront to be having to, like, disagree with a motherfucker, like, and, like, to stick towards propaganda. Because it's like, come on, brother. Like, come on, man. You could be like Crystal and Saga and, like, leave that place and just create your own. You feel me? Like, you have a following. There's certain people that watch you. You can do it yourself. But I guess it's too hard. Not a lot of people could do that. Shout out to Crystal and Saga. Yeah, it's I've seen this whole thing. I looked it up and I was just like, bro, what? This is so foolish. It's so stupid. And I say it's stupid because it's propaganda. Like, I do not fuck with propaganda. Like, before 2020, I would look at propaganda from other countries because that's where you would primarily see it. You would see it from North Korea. You would see it from other countries that have had dictatorship leaders in the past. So it's expected from these, like, certain communist countries and stuff like that to literally go by propaganda day by day in order to keep their people sane as possible and, like, as delusional as possible. But to see it coming from our own country, it's like, it kind of, like, tells you where we're headed. And the older I get, the more I understand it. Not the use of propaganda, not that. The more I understand propaganda. Because clearly the older we're getting, the more we're starting to see it within our country, within our people. I just hope people aren't dull enough or naive enough to stick to just one group instead of looking why that group doesn't like that other group, for example. I don't know. It's a stupid analogy, but it's the one I could come up off the bat. I'm a stupid person. I didn't graduate college, so. Oh, shit. I need ivermectin. But yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to deal with this in the land of the free, But this is why we have people like Joe Rogan in our world, in order to be grilling motherfuckers like this and, like, exposing motherfuckers like this, in order for people to see. Because I'm pretty sure, I would love to see a take from somebody who used to religiously or still religiously watches CNN, and after this whole debacle, looked at both parties and both sides of the spectrum and what their final thought is about the whole situation and how their new look towards CNN is. I bet you there's motherfuckers out there that's saying that Joe Rogan has a propaganda himself and this is it. You feel me? I wouldn't be surprised if that's the thing. But it's the world we live in, y'all. That's exactly what we live in. This is the world that we live in, and we have to have these things and have people like Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle that aren't scared to put themselves out there like that. And given that they could be missing out on a whole lot of shit if they just comply and go and get with the program. Because I'm pretty sure CNN was looking at them like, oh, look at this fucking ape-like human, like this person who's always religiously thinking about conspiracies and this juice head who's always in the gym and it just always tries to stay healthy and shit like that. Let's take this part of what he said and let's just make a whole story about it without possibly thinking that Joe Rogan would be all up their ass about this whole shit. Because I would too. If you're talking down and bad on my name, you best believe the next episode would be all about, or majority about. I would definitely address it in the next episode of Scary Hour. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks. Propaganda at its finest. That's just really what it is about that. Anyways, moving on from that, I wanted to talk about, because I seen this earlier this week, Nikolas Cruz. For those of you who don't know who Nikolas Cruz is, he's the gunman who was responsible for the 17 killings in Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. I forgot what year that was. I think a few years back now. But I wanted to look at this because he had a plea to the victim's family, you know, because I think they're finalizing on like whether he should get the electric chair or some shit like that. And I'm gonna play this here, and we're gonna watch it together.
I am very sorry for what I did, and I have to live with it every day. And that if I were to get a second chance, I will do everything in my power to try to help others. And I am doing this for you, and I do not care if you do not believe me. And I love you, and I know you don't believe me, but I have to live with this every day. And it brings me nightmares, and I can't live with myself sometimes, but I try to push through because I know that's what you guys would want me to do. I hate drugs, and I believe this country would do better if everyone would stop smoking marijuana and doing all these drugs and causing racism and violence out in the streets. I'm sorry, and I can't even watch TV anymore. And I'm trying my best to maintain my composure, and I just want you to know I'm really sorry. And I hope you give me a chance to try to help others. If I believe it's your decision to decide where I go and whether I live or die. Not the jury's. I believe it's your decision. I'm sorry.
Bruh. My man's really thought that he could just cater to everything in order to get away with shit. My man said, I'm sorry for me killing all your children. I also don't fuck with drugs. Fuck marijuana. Yo, that's crazy. And then I saw a clip after that said something. It showed the judge, and she was like, "Yo, I hope you do know you're not like you shouldn't. This message shouldn't be towards me. It should be towards the victims' families." And I feel like you didn't really focus on that with your plea. I feel like you just went on a tangent about drugs after that. Like you said sorry, but then like you just like devoted the rest of your speech on drugs and how you would change if they gave you a second chance. You could tell that he doesn't give a shit. You could tell that it's not that he doesn't give a shit. He's scared to die, obviously, as a majority of the people who get the electric chair are. They're scared to die, especially being that young. I'm older than this dude, and I'm 23. But it's yeah. He's just saying anything to try to not get the death penalty. I'm pretty sure he'd be happy if they just give him life in prison. He'd be okay with that, as long as he just gets to eat and live and like breathe the next day's air. But it's over for my guy, I think. If he was black or a minority, he would have got killed. This is going on for too long. Then again, you know, we're dealing with 17 different families, so I guess. But yeah, that was his plea to the victims' families. I mean, I don't know tell me what you think about that. That's a little bit It's a little weird to go about it. It looks like he didn't even focus on trying to say a plea the day before. He just like off the top of his head freestyled that shit. my man had a verse, off the top verse. That shit is funny. But moving on from that, the vaccine mandates. I seen a lot of people not fucking with it, and I seen it here in my hometown, well, in my home city. There was a couple days ago. There was a march in the Brooklyn Bridge about people, siding with Kyrie Irving about the vaccine mandate, how you should just let him play, and not just with Kyrie, obviously. It's also with majority of the shit. Like, you should be able to do a lot of stuff without motherfuckers asking you for a vaccine card. As long as you're following the steps to the extra precaution to not infect anybody else, then you should be left alone. If you're wearing a mask, if you aren't showing symptoms of COVID, if you're just fine and you're following the rules, bro, just leave me the fuck alone. Like, I should not sit here and like really try to like tell myself that I should get the vaccine because it's the right thing to do. What if my beliefs are that I don't think that the vaccine is as promising as people say it is? Just yet. Just let me chill for a little bit until I can solely decide whether I should get it or not. What if I'm the type of person who wants to let time pass just to see if anybody who's gotten it, see people's reaction towards it later on in life? Not because it probably won't happen within a couple months, But it's as long as you also educate yourself. It's not like I'm totally against the vaccine. You feel me? It's just the way it's being pushed. They like to scream, "Oh, majority of the people," Biden's saying, "Oh, majority of the people have the vaccine. 90-something% has the vaccine." So why are you pushing it like as if majority of the people don't have it? What's the whole thing about, 100% of the people have to have the vaccine? Like that's what gives me the iffiness about the whole shit. It's just like, bro, you're acting as if literally majority of the people don't have the vaccine. You're acting as if majority of the people haven't gotten it and are anti-vaxxers. You're acting as if you're not acting as if majority of the people got the vaccine, but you're saying they do. But then again, you're mandating it as if majority of the people have, like you say, have gotten the vaccine, why have the mandate? Obviously, that's like it could be a really fucking horrible take, horrible argument, horrible point. But that's just my point. You feel me? Like, it's just like, what's the urge? Why can't you just respect people's opinions and on the vaccine? I don't know, man. Eventually, in order for me to pay my bills, I would feel like I'd have to get the vaccine because these corporations have mandated it within their company, unless they just say so. And then, like, once I get back to work, they probably don't give a shit. They're probably just, "Oh, you got the vaccine? Okay, got it. Okay, all right, thank you." All right. And then that's it, because motherfuckers do need workers. That's another thing, too. It's like this whole story about 4.3 million people have quit their jobs. Are those the anti-vaxxers we're talking about? Are those the people who don't want to comply with the vaccine mandates, that don't want to work anymore because they don't feel respected? Their opinion doesn't feel respected. They feel like they don't have a choice. And then there's people who completely, and then the motherfuckers who are for the vaccine, they just completely come at you for having the opinion that I have. They immediately, oh, you must not know about the vaccine. Oh, you must not do your research. Oh, clearly you have not looked at, researchers about the vaccine. Clearly you don't know what you're talking. And it's like, bro, I don't know what I'm talking about. I really don't. I'm not sitting here acting like I do. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I do know how I feel. And I do know my stance on certain things. And I do know my opinion on certain things. And one of those things is I don't feel comfortable enough to get the vaccine right now. That's just what it is. Why does that take have to be why you have to be so snarky about that take when I respect yours? Oh, I got the vaccine. Okay, that's good for you, bro. If you feel like you needed to get the vaccine, you get it. You sit there and you take the extra measures to get the vaccine. And I respect it. I don't sit here and be like bash you, but well, we will see. Now, I have done that. Don't get me wrong. I have looked at people, but it was in terms of jokes. I've looked at people and be like, well, at least we'll know you're the test dummy. We're going to see how long it'll take for you to turn into a zombie. I've done it to my grandmother. I've done it to my mother. So, yeah, I really don't give a fuck. I was playing, though. But, yeah, people be quick to, like, bash you and think that you haven't done research. It's like, I have done research, but then it's like, what do I have? Like, I just feel like not taking the fucking vaccine. Like, I respect Kyrie for being his own man and sticking by his own belief and not catering to other people's opinion about the vaccine. LeBron feels like he should get the vaccine, therefore he got it and moved along from it. KD did the same. Harden did the same. Kyrie, on the other hand, believes otherwise, and that's his opinion. We can't bash him for it. You feel me? I bashed him for it last week just because I want to see a motherfucker play, and I want a potential Lakers versus Nets. That's all I care about. I don't give a fuck with a motherfucker what his belief is with the vaccine and shit. He could get it all he want, or not get it all he want. But the league literally left him out of the 75 all-time list. And we all know why. Like, we all know why he was left out of the 75 all-time list. You feel me? This man has won a ring. Al Iverson is in the 75 list, and he's never won a ring. Make that make sense. He's broken a lot of accolades. He's hit arguably one of the biggest shots in NBA finals ever. And you're going to leave the man out of the 75 all-time list? It says a lot about the NBA. And it says a lot about the propaganda we spoke about earlier and how we're seeing it within our own communities in our own country. Because we sit here and you can look at the NBA and love the NBA for however much you want, just like I do. But it's shit like this that just makes me want to like, ugh. I understand why there's people that feel the way that Kyrie feels in the league. And we're seeing it with our own very eyes. I'm not saying that it's just propaganda, but it leads to that eventually. When you're doing things like leaving NBA players out of the 75 all-time list, it's little things like that you're trying to set a statement within yourself as the league. You're trying to, set an example out of Kyrie Irving. And as much as I disagree with Kyrie Irving not getting the vaccine, I also respect him for his opinion because it is his opinion. And also, I don't fuck with the league for doing that bitchy ass move that they just did. They also left out Klay Thompson, which is crazy to me. This man has scored like close to 40 points in one quarter. 3-time NBA champion. and he only has 8 years in the league. He doesn't even have a decade. He's not even a tenured yet. And it's things like that, guys. It's shit like that should raise an alarm on your head as to how easily it is for such a utopia of America to go down to shit immediately. And how it could happen little by little the way it's happening now. But it's, you know, I could be completely wrong. You feel me? The NBA could come out with something else talking about how Kyrie, a list of reasons as to why Kyrie didn't make the 75 all-time list. But you could do the same thing for Al Iverson, which is ridiculous to me. If Al Iverson is in the 75 all-time list, you must definitely put Kyrie Irving. And I also don't agree with it being randomized. It should not be randomized. Or random. I didn't like the fact that the list was random. If you're gonna put 75 all time, motherfucker, put that shit 1 through 75, bro. Who is the best to who's the worst out of all 75? Like, what the fuck is you catering to what for? Like, bro, if you had all the time in the world to pick out people from and put them in these little bracket of 75 people of all time best, you best believe you better do the exact same and put the exact same energy on who is the best to who is the worst. Like the last 5 out of the 75 were like LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Stephen Curry, and shit like that. And I was just like, bro, I don't know. It was weird. But there you go. It's a 75 all-time list. That's it. Tracy McGrady, I think, also got snubbed out. And Dwight Howard as well, which is crazy to me. But given his little fight with Anthony Davis a couple nights ago, fuck you, bitch. It was literally the night right after the entire 75 came out. So I don't know if it was in their heads or whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. And that's another thing with the NBA too. With the Lakers, I mean. They lost the first 2 games. They won again 2 nights ago. A really close game against the Grizzlies where John Morant scored 40 fucking points and put it on them. And it was too close. Now, the only person that really got us out of that mess was fucking Carmelo Anthony, who really showed out and who was gratefully enough showing out and showing us reasons why we got him. Westbrook didn't do as bad. He did pretty good as well. LeBron doesn't play tonight. The Lakers play the Spurs, and which means I'm not watching the game if LeBron's not playing. But at least we know that Russ and Melo get more minutes. So, and some of more of the people on the bench. So that's been this episode, guys, for Scary Hour. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope last week was a really good week. I hope this week is even better for you guys. You guys have a good day, and remember to like, share, subscribe to us. Love you all, and see you again next week.